Distinguished guests, please welcome class of 2020. Turn on your cameras and make some noise. Congratulations.
I know.
Congratulations.
The host has stalled.
All right.
Blame.
Our president, Liz Ma.
Hi everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome all of you to the 2020 Presidio Graduate School virtual commencement ceremony. Welcome especially to our graduating students. In a year and semester unlike any other, you didn't just make it through, but you shone brightly through the last few months as students and recent alumni. We are here to honor and to celebrate who you are today and who you are going to be in the future, catalyzed by your degree from PGS. While today is about focusing on our graduates, they, like all of us, are part of a larger story. We live in a world that is both beautiful and greatly flawed. Today, we celebrate these beautiful graduates while mourning the challenges all around us. A global pandemic that has claimed too many lives, including healthcare workers, vulnerable seniors, and communities of color. We mourn an inequitable society built on racist systems and policies that steals away lives, dreams, and livelihoods. While we at Presidio recognize this pain, we also continually challenge ourselves to find progress, solutions, and hope. We hold both pain and hope together in order to feel more, and do better. In this spirit, I hope you can join me in a moment of silence that honors our graduates and the bright futures in front of them, while also honoring those who have recently fallen to both the global pandemic and to racist killings. For the parents and family and friends here on our call, I'd like to briefly introduce you to Presidio Graduate School. We are a graduate program unlike any other, and the fact that your family member or friend chose us speaks to their pioneering spirit. At PGS, we share a mission to not just change the situation, but to change the system. Our work is rooted in decades of commitment to social and environmental justice, bold leadership, and questioning the status quo. We strive to teach our students how to approach an uncertain world with the skills they need to transform and the passion they need to persevere. The evidence of our impact shines brightly today in the futures of these amazing 2020 graduates. We will now hear from our student speakers. These speakers have been chosen by the graduating class and embody the values, passion, and vision of Presidio Graduate School. Our first speaker is Antoinette West.
Hi, everyone. Okay. My fellow graduates, family, faculty, and staff, it is such an honor to speak with you this afternoon. I'll be honest, I dreamed about this moment, speaking to my classmates, friends, and loved ones Sometimes it was my only motivation to keep going, especially when I only had an hour left to write a discussion post due at 11:59 p.m. But seriously, this honor did not materialize the way I thought it would. Whether it's due to COVID-19 or global outrage against police violence, for many of us, our jobs, our living situations, our mere existence has been shaken to the core. But I was given permission to share something with you to hopefully serve as a shield, as a beacon of hope, and as a guidepost if you're ever knocked off course. With my mother's permission, I'm going to share with you all our family values. Value number 1, do your best and have fun. As I exist in my skin, I have been singular in many situations. The only Black person in the room, the only woman in the room, or the youngest person in the room. I often fell victim to comparison, which is really the thief of joy. My mother has always spoken these words to me as anxiety and fear showed on my face. As a child, she would tell me this before every soccer game or dance performance. As an adult, she told me this as I walked through Alliance doors on the first day of my graduate school experience. As we continue to get through this thing called life, we have to give ourselves grace. Take some pressure off yourself, remember to breathe, do your best, and have fun. Value number 2, don't sweat the small stuff. So I don't know about y'all, but I was a perfectionist growing up. Do you remember the minute math tests? The sheets with like 100 multiplication problems you would have to solve in 60 seconds? Well, one afternoon, I psyched myself up a little bit too much and completely got into my head about this minute math test. And I'm going to keep it real, y'all. As soon as she said go, I started crying, like bawling, walking over to my teacher, pleading with her to let me try again. Please don't do that, y'all. I know the times we're living in can be difficult and oftentimes gut-wrenching, but sometimes we're the girl crying over the minute math test. Keep the big scheme of things in focus and keep the small stuff small. Value number 3, live with no regrets. I recall discussing my graduate school choices with Vern Howard, my stepfather, the wisest and most knowingest man I've ever had in my life. And while I'm rattling off all these big school names, he challenges me with a thought. He says, I understand why you're looking at these schools, but you should look at some smaller, lesser known schools as well. So I did. I found Presidio in a Google search for a social impact MBA. And what I found here is invaluable. I'm talking about faculty that can lecture for 8 hours straight, no notes, an apple, and a water bottle. Advisors who say things like, a plan is one from which we deviate to make their students more adaptable. Kindred spirits that you can watch full moons rise on rooftops with. And lifelong friends who can hold their own in karaoke during the night and debate the capacity of mega regions to combat rising sea levels during the day. Making the decision to come to Presidio, welcoming new friends into my life, and learning from such amazing faculty has been one of the best decisions in my life. Vern, thanks for pushing me. Value number 4, to whom much is given, much is required. So this is a biblical reference to Luke 12:48. My mom didn't spring this value on me until I was a little older and a little wiser, but I take it to mean that there's a debt that each of us have to pay for the privileges that we experience and that we're held responsible for what we have. If we've been blessed with talents, wealth, knowledge, time, etc., it is expected that we benefit others with those gifts. There's work to do. Do your work. Now, this next value is my own, so hopefully my mom will approve. Value number 5, be a good ancestor. We all stand on the shoulders of giants. This means that we all have ancestors who dreamed about us and worked and toiled so that we would have the opportunities we have today. And one day, your descendants will hopefully say the same things about you. So to be a good ancestor, leave things better than you found them, speak the truth, even when your voice shakes, and be of service to your planet, your community, and your fellow man. My family, my community, and little girls and boys that look like me and look up to me are counting on me to be a good ancestor, and I hope you will be too. So, as we continue our journeys outside of Presidio and to an unknown future, I hope you remember these values. To the class of 2020 and all others here today, remember, when you start to feel anxious or fearful, just do your best and have fun. When things start to feel too big, don't sweat the small stuff. Live with no regrets and try something new. Do your work. To whom much is given, much is required. And please, for those that came before and those that will come after, be a good ancestor. Thank you.
Woo!
Yeah, Antoinette.
Woohoo! Woo!
Our next student speaker is Alfredo Gonzalez Valenzuela.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alfredo Gonzalez Valenzuela, and I would like to dedicate this speech to my mom and my grandma. Without them, I wouldn't be here today. Dear class of 2020, today is the end of a journey, whether you started in Seattle or San Francisco. Today, we don't simply add 3 letters behind our names. Today, we rebrand. Today, all of your family members know what Uncle John will bring to the party. Some PBR, perhaps. Everyone knows Uncle John's personal brand. Today, some of your family members are staring into their phone as I speak. They engage with a brand. Today, it is clear that brands have values. They have a voice. Today, more than ever, we need brands to be committed, to have character, and take action. Today, Mi Familia stands in solidarity with the African American and Black community because we understand our freedom is tied to each other. Today, we need brands that are all in on Black Lives Matter. May this moment of silence show our respect to those lives that have been taken away by their families, by police violence and white supremacy in the United States. Today, your silence speaks loud. Tomorrow, we begin a new chapter. Tomorrow, we as a cohort will dive into an odyssey, the seas of ecological collapse, homelessness, poverty, mental health, access to water, drug addiction, racial injustice, gender injustice, wealth inequality, lack of education. Let's be clear. There is no manual for this odyssey. Tomorrow, you will have a choice to feel overwhelmed or propel your feelings into action. The future starts with commitment. It starts with character. It starts with action. Dreams and reality are opposites. Action synthesizes them. You see, tomorrow is no more different than today. We at Presidio Graduate School are not in the business of becoming Wall Street elite. We are in the business of changing our economy. Yes, tomorrow you will feel overwhelmed, but at the palm of your hands, you will have a community of change makers. It is in collectives that we find reservoirs of hope and optimism. Today, you make the biggest commitment in your professional lives. We commit to each other. Now you will go back to your families. Now you will go back and know about the systems at play. Now I challenge you to invite your families into this difficult conversation. Now I challenge you to have the character to bring them along. Now I challenge you to join my familia and commit to create a better tomorrow. Now it's about you, and only you can facilitate that process. Commit, unearth your authentic character, and take action. Thank you.